The franchise of Kingdom Hearts has had many levels over its history. A couple of years ago I did a top 10 list in which I listed my top 10 favourite Kingdom Hearts worlds, or levels. But today I'm going to be flipping the script the other way around, and today I'm going to be bringing to you my top 10 least favourite Kingdom Hearts levels. So there is a couple of criteria which I need to address. Firstly, this is going to be based on levels which has like, I guess you could say pure Kingdom Hearts gameplay. So like gameplay from like the main series, like Kingdom Hearts, so the Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, Birth by Sleep, and Dream Drop HD. Those are the 5. Some games I haven't played, like 365, because it was never remastered for PlayStation. And there are some which are not really traditional Kingdom Hearts levels, like the one which has playing cards, and also the one which, Melody of Memories, which is more of a musical game. So yeah, this will be based on more traditional Kingdom Hearts gameplay. The other criteria I set myself for this list is that I would not include final boss levels. So this includes levels like the Keyblade Graveyard from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, although that is a bit annoying to get round, and the final level from Kingdom Hearts 3, which is Scola ad Kelum. I can't pronounce that right, but it's also known as Stairway to Heaven. So yeah, that's the final level from Kingdom Hearts 3. In the DLC that is a bit annoying, but it's not included in this list because it is technically classified as a final boss level. But anyway, let's get into the list and see what made the list. Number 10, Arendelle, aka the Frozen level from Kingdom Hearts 3. So admittedly with this level, it's more of a case of what could have been than what we got. So in Arendelle, it's basically a snow-based map with a ice castle. By the way, get used to hearing that word castle quite a bit in this list. So Arendelle is based on the first Frozen film, with a little bit of deviation to like suit Sora and the gang more. But I feel like this was a little bit of a missed opportunity for a couple of reasons, because the level of, so the Kingdom of Corona, which featured in my top 10 list, that actually allowed you to go into the kingdom itself and have a look at some of the areas. So it gave you a bit more variety. With this one, unfortunately, I feel like they missed a trick, because they could have actually made it so maybe you could have gone to Arendelle at the end and used it as a little bit of a break. But yeah, it's mainly a snow-based and ice-based map, and while snow can be fun, I mean you can make snowballs admittedly, the level design itself is a bit bland, unfortunately. Also, there is one glaring omission. For me, probably by far the best part of the film, near the end, is actually not in the level at all. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame. But yes, the saving grace that Arendelle does have is that it has arguably the best minigame in Kingdom Hearts 3 with the ice sled. I can't remember its exact name, but yeah, it's up there I think for the best minigames. Maybe that should be another list one day. Maybe. But yes. Regarding future Kingdom Hearts games, I wouldn't be surprised if Frozen 2 makes it onto the list. Frozen 2 makes it to a future Kingdom Hearts game, because yeah, it's obviously a juggernaut in the form of a moneymaker for Disney. So yeah, but yes, like I said, Arendelle is more of a case of what could have been, and that's why I've put it at number 10 on this list. Number 9, Twilight Town from Kingdom Hearts 3. So intriguingly, we're actually starting off with 2 Kingdom Hearts 3 levels back to back. So with Twilight Town, the reason I've put this on the list is not necessarily because it's a bad level, but it's because of what it compares against. So there have been 2 Twilight Town maps, well, technically 3 actually if you include 365, but like I said, I've not played that one, so I can't rate that. When you compare this Twilight Town to the one in Kingdom Hearts 2, the Kingdom Hearts 2 one has by far a lot more of a story progression in the game, because that's key to Roxas. That's key to the story of Roxas. With this one, it's a little bit just of a more of an intro level, that type of thing. You get to meet Remy, which is kind of neat, but yeah, not a dramatic amount happens in this level. It's also a fairly small level when it comes to the other Kingdom Hearts 3 levels. So yeah, that's why I've decided to put this at number 9 on the list. Number 8, Castle of Dreams from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. So this is the Cinderella themed map from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and just like with Twilight Town, it's not a bad map, it's just for me a little bit of a dull one. So the way Birth by Sleep works is a little bit different compared to the other Kingdom Hearts games, because you actually get it in separate story pieces. So I believe it's I think it's Ventus first, then it's Terra, and then you finish up with Aqua. I think that's how it works. So I think Ventus is in charge of helping make the dress for Cinderella. Then Terra, I think is... I can't actually remember what Terra's role is, but I know Aqua is checking in on Cinderella after she leaves the castle. But yeah, it's not a bad. It's not a bad level. It's just a little bit dull for me. But it is the reason it's not lower is because some of these first levels from Birth by Sleep actually does play a bit more into the stories from Kingdom Hearts later in the future, when the worlds get consumed by darkness. Yeah, so that's one thing to note. But yeah, for me it's just a little bit of a dull level, so that's why I put number 8 on the list. Number 7, Dwarf Woodlands from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. So this is the Snow White level. So this one is actually more on the list just because of the story rather than the level design. So I do admit, unfortunately, even though it is the first Disney film ever made, I'm not really a fan of this one. I'm not really a fan of the Snow White film. Partly because the story's okay, it's just a bit dull for me. But also because, if I'm correct, the princess Snow White is actually 13. So yeah, that's a bit of a sticking point, I have to admit, in modern society. But other than that, when it comes to the level design, it's okay. I'd say the dwarf section is definitely the better part of the map. But I do notice that the castle section is a bit of a drag. Like I said, castles. I think 3 of these lists have castles, if I'm correct. Yeah, this, Castle by Dreams, and Arendelle. So yeah, castles might not be a favourite thing of mine. But yeah, so once again, like I said, the story is separated. I can't remember whose is who, but I know Aqua has the last part of the story where she faces the mirror. That is actually one interesting thing about this map, is the battle with the magic mirror, I will admit. And we actually get a repeat of this later on in the 0.2 game. But I can't remember its name at the moment. Yeah, so... But yeah, apart from that, yeah, this level just not really that interesting to me. So that's why it's number 7 on the list. Number 6, Prankster's Paradise from Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop HD. I believe I pronounced that name right. So this is where things get a lot easier, I have to admit, for me to work out what is my least favourite levels, because these remaining 6 are definitely easy choices for me. So Prankster's Paradise is from the one of the Nintendo DS games that was remade for PS4 with the Kingdom Hearts 2.8 collection, I think it was. But yeah, so that game actually had quite a few interesting levels. It had the Hunchback of Notre Dame. It had the Musketeers. It also had the World of Music. I can't remember its name, but that was one of the more unique levels. This one, on the other hand, I cannot allow to not put on this list, plainly because of one thing. Part of it features another level, which you'll probably hear later on, I have to admit. But yes, so this is so if you don't know, this level is set in the world of Pinocchio, which I think came out in the 40s, if I'm correct. Fun fact: never actually seen the film Pinocchio full. Yeah, surprising. But yeah, so it's set in two parts. So you have the funfair part, which the funfair part is actually okay. But the bit in question that makes this list is the undersea part. So there are two parts. So you've got oh yeah, I should explain the way this game works is you can either play as Riku or Sora, and they get slightly different parts. So Riku gets Monstro and Sora gets the undersea part. And you can get lost in the underwater part and you can actually drown. I actually did this while I was trying to get footage, and yeah, that was a problem. And yeah. So I'm not really, definitely not a fan of this level design. Yeah. And the story itself didn't really intrigue me that much. So that's why it's number 6 on the list. Number 5, Atlantica from Kingdom Hearts 1. Yep, you've probably been waiting for this one. So when it comes to the worst Kingdom Hearts levels, when it comes to most worst Kingdom Hearts levels list, Atlantica is pretty much one you'd expect to find on that list. However, the reason I've put it on my list is actually for a different reason. Well, it might be for a different reason. So the first Atlantica map from Kingdom Hearts 1, yeah, spoiler, there might be another one. The reason I put it on this list is actually mainly because of the gameplay rather than the story. So the gameplay is like the swimming mechanic is a bit annoying. Well, I say bit annoying, quite annoying to use. So yes, this was obviously launched back in 2002. And work definitely still needed to be done on the swimming mechanic. Fortunately, in later games, especially with Pirates of the Caribbean, in Kingdom Hearts 3, they sorted out the swimming animations much better. Well, swimming controls much better. So yeah. Also, the map design is a little bit of a headache to get around, especially if you're trying to get to Triton's Palace. Yeah, you have to try and negotiate these like whirlpools and tidal paths. It's a bit frustrating to move around at first. So yeah, I will say the one saving grace it does have is that it does have a bit of a unique story, and the one thing about this which I couldn't make it lower is since these maps did come out, we unfortunately lost the voice actress who voiced Ursula in the original Little Mermaid franchise. So that is one thing to maybe think about. Is like the gameplay itself is not great, but this is one way that we can keep revisiting the character, I guess we could say, in a original sense. I think that makes sense. I'm not sure. But yes, so when you combine all those together, that's probably why I've put it at number 5 on this list. Number 4, Travis Town from Kingdom Hearts 1. So Travis Town is a map for me which is... It's not on this list, it's not on the list because it's a terrible map or it's annoying. It's unfortunately I probably find it the most boring map in Kingdom Hearts, unfortunately. Now, I suspect it's kind of designed to be like that because, in fairness, in the original Kingdom Hearts, this is the first major playable world, and it's technically a tutorial level in most Kingdom Hearts games. So yeah, it also serves as the main hub for Kingdom Hearts, where you can do like some of your shopping and that type of stuff. But yeah, for me, it's just a really boring world. Now, it's not to say that this world is terrible overall, because in fairness, in Dream Drop HD, there is actually a decent amount to this world. You've got a mail system, you've got the arena mode, there's a whole lot more detail put into the Travis Town than Dream Drop HD. But when it comes to the first one, it's pretty boring, unfortunately. So yeah, there's nothing annoying about it or anything like that, it's just dull. Yeah, it's just really boring. So, unfortunately, that's why I've had to put it at number 4 on the list. Number 3, Monstro, Kingdom Hearts 1. So, as I was referring to with Prankster's Paradise, Monstro is also on the list. This is definitely a combination of the level design and the story. Yeah, it doesn't really do it for me, this level. So, Monstro, if you don't know, is basically a giant whale who, in the first Kingdom Hearts, swallows the gummy ship and you're trapped. Yeah, Pinocchio is also trapped in the ship with you, and it just basically turns into a game of Rico basically playing or kidnapping Pinocchio, and then you have to free him eventually from the Heartless. For me, the level design is can be a bit confusing. Unfortunately, it's partly Kingdom Hearts 1's fault, because with this, in Kingdom Hearts 1 you didn't have route markers on your minimap, which they introduced in later games, so that's part of the reason that this is a problem. And there is actually one other map later on which also has a similar problem. But yeah, also just like with Prankster's Paradise, the story itself, it's okay, but it doesn't really do it for me, like on the revisit. But yeah, so Monstro, level design, not fan of. Story is okay, but not anything exciting. And yeah, so that's why for me, it's number 3 on this list. Number 2, Atlantica from Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, but this is the one you've definitely been waiting for on this list. Just like I said with the other Atlantica, this one normally tops most people's worst Kingdom Hearts levels. But yes. Weirdly enough, I've only just realised, actually looking at this list, that this is the only Kingdom Hearts 2 level that made it onto this list. Huh. Because when I think about it, actually, there is a lot of good levels in Kingdom Hearts 2. You've got Pirates of the Caribbean, you've got Mulan, you've got... at first I wasn't a fan of The Lion King, but on replaying it, I actually grew to like the combat. So, yeah. Then you've also got Tron, and yeah, there's quite a few good levels in Kingdom Hearts 2. But yeah, this one is definitely the odd one out. So, the Atlantica from Kingdom Hearts 2 is more... It's not really a gameplay, so it's not really a traditional gameplay aspect. It's more of a preview to Melody of Memories. So basically, it's more of a musical game. So I believe you've got 5... I believe you've got 5 musical tracks. One with Ursula, and a couple with Ariel in the group. And you also get an alternate version of Part of Your World and Under the Sea. So I guess that's noteworthy, but yeah. The problem is, if it was in Melody Memories, we wouldn't really be having any issues with it. But because it is in one of the major Kingdom Hearts games, it is a bit, yeah. It feels like a level which you only have to play because of if you want to progress with the story, like 100% completion, that type of thing. So yeah, it's quite a monotonous level. I think that's the right word. Yeah. However, you may have obviously realised that this is number 2 on this list. That's because for me, there is one level which I found really annoying, and it actually almost made me stop playing the game, which is, yeah, something which is for me a pretty big deal. But anyway, yes, so regarding Atlantica, it's number 2 on the list. Number 1, Hollowed Bastion from Kingdom Hearts 1. Oh boy, where do I start with this one? So, I've said in a couple of the entries on this list that I'm not a fan of castles, and for me, this is probably the granddaddy of them all when it comes to castle designs. So, for me, Hollowed Bastion was a level which generally almost made me stop playing Kingdom Hearts 1 for 2 reasons. Firstly, this level technically has 3 boss fights, but it isn't the final level of Kingdom Hearts 1, so that's why it was eligible for this list. So some of the battles include battles against Maleficent and also Dark Riku, and yeah, I got stuck on these battles for so long that I was generally tempted of giving up completely. Yeah. I think at one point actually I had to try and do a lot of leveling up on other levels just to try and get enough stats. Decent enough. So yeah. The second problem I have with this level is the level design. So this features kind of a multi-level system. So it features lifts. But the problem is because there is no mini-map in Kingdom Hearts 1, you don't really know where you're going. So it's very easy to get lost in this map constantly. The lifts also don't give you an accurate direction of like which lifts go where, so it's like a bit of a guessing game. Then you've got the labyrinth in the basement of the map, and this is also annoying because every time you go through it you have to reset all the walls, which is very time consuming. So yes. Also, if you fall off the map, if you're on the higher levels, you end up on the lower levels, and that's a little bit of a reset, so that's also time consuming as well. Now, I do have to, of course, mention the fact that this level does have probably one of the most powerful moments in the Kingdom Hearts franchise with Sora's sacrifice. But unfortunately, even that is not enough for me to put a bit of a better light on this map. Because for me, this map was so annoying. This map is still annoying to play, actually. So yes, that's why, unfortunately, it can't be anywhere else on this list apart from my number 1 least favourite Kingdom Hearts level.